Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we begin Unit 2 Computational Thinking and Programming. This is where computer science gets really exciting because we will learn how to think like a programmer. Before you write a single line of code, you need to know how to solve problems systematically. We will cover the 5-step problem solving method, algorithms, flowcharts, pseudocode, and decomposition. Grab your notebooks. Let's go. So, what exactly is problem solving in computing? It is the process of identifying a problem, analyzing it, and finding the best solution systematically. Think of it like making tea. You follow the steps in order: boil water, add tea leaves, strain, add sugar. You already know the steps mentally. But a computer, it needs every step explicitly written out. It can't guess anything. That's why systematic problem matters. It saves time, reduces errors, makes your code reusable, and help others understand your solution. Watch the animation. The 5 golden steps appear one by one. Step 1 is analyze. Understand what's being asked. Step 2 is algorithm. Plan your solution step by step. Step 3 is code. Write the actual program. Step 4 is test. Run it with sample data. Step 5 is debug. Find and fix any errors. These 5 steps are asked as a 3 to 5 mark questions almost every year in the CBSE exams. Memorize this in order. Step 1 is all about understanding before doing. You need to identify 4 things. First, inputs. What data do we need and in what format? Second, outputs. What result is expected? Third, process. What operations convert input to output? Are there formulas? Fourth, constraints. Are there edge cases or invalid inputs to handle? For example, if the problem says find the largest of 3 numbers, your input is 3 numbers, output is the largest one. Process is comparing pairs and constraints including what if 2 numbers are equal. An algorithm is a finite set of well defined instructions to solve a specific problem, written in plain English. The word comes from the mathematician Al Khwarizmi, the father of algebra. A good algorithm has 5 properties. Finiteness. It must end after a finite number of steps. Definiteness. Each step must be clear and precise. Input. It accepts 0 or more inputs. Output. It produces at least one output. Effectiveness. Every step must be basic enough to be carried out. Remember, an algorithm is language independent. You can implement it in Python, Java, C++, or any language. Let's write our first algorithm problem. Find the largest of 3 numbers A, B, C. Step 1 start. Steps 2 read A, B, C. Step 3 if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then print A is largest. Step 5 else if B is greater than C, then B is largest. Step 5 else print C is largest. Step 6 end if. Step 7 stop. Now let's dry run it. Let's case A equal to 15, B equal to 9, C equal to 12. A greater than B, yes. A greater than C, yes. Output A is largest, correct. Test with B equal to 20 and C equal to 25. To verify all branches works, always trace through multiple test cases. Here is a loop based algorithm problem. Find a sum of first n natural numbers. Step 1 start. Step 2 read n. Step 3 set sum equal to 0 and I equal to 1. Step 4 while I is less than or equal to n, add I to sum and increment I. Step 5 end while. Step 6 print sum. Step 7 stop. The trace table shows exactly what happened for n equal to 5. Counter goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sum becomes 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. When counter hits 6, the condition fails and we exit. Output is 15. Cross check with the formula n times n plus 1 divided by 2 equals 15. Step 3 coding. Step 3 is where we convert our algorithm into actual code. Watch the animation. Algorithm begins pseudocode becomes Python code. On the left is our algorithm in plain English. On the right is the equivalent Python program. Notice how closely the Python code mirrors the algorithm structure. The for loop replaces our while, input replaces read, print replaces output. This is exactly why we write algorithm first. It makes coding almost mechanical. You are just translating English to Python. Therefore, testing. Running your program with known data. There are four types of test cases. Normal test Normal cases test regular inputs. N equal to 5 gives sum equal to 15. Boundary cases test the edges. N equal to 0 and n equal to 1. Invalid test cases test wrong inputs. What if someone enters negative number or text? Special cases test unique situations like all three numbers being equal. Professional programmers spend 40% of their time testing. For your CBSE practical exam, always show at least 3 test cases with expected output. Step 5 is debugging, finding and fixing bugs. Fun fact in 1947, Grasshopper found a real moth stuck in a hardware computer. That was a first literal computer bug. There are four techniques: print statements to check variables, step through execution, code review, and rubber duck debugging, where you explain your code to a rubber duck. There are three types of errors: syntax errors or grammar mistakes, missing colons, wrong brackets. The computer catches this. There are three types of errors: syntax errors or grammar mistakes, missing colons, wrong brackets. The computer catches this. Logical errors are the sneakiest code. Logical errors are the sneakiest. Code runs but gives wrong output, like using plus instead of multiply. Runtime errors crash your program, like dividing by 0. Remember the mnemonic SLR. A flowchart is a visual representation of an algorithm using standardized symbols and arrows. It has four main advantages. First, it is easy to understand. Even non programmers can follow the logic. Second, better communication. Teams can discuss logic visually. Third, error detection. Tracing the flow reveals logical mistakes. Fourth, documentation. It serves as a permanent record. The limitation. Flowchart becomes very complex for a large programs and are harder to modify than text-based approaches. That's where pseudocode wins. Watch the symbols appear one by one. Oval means start or stop. It is a terminal symbol. Rectangle means process. Calculations and operations happen here. Parallelogram means input or output. Data flows in or out. Diamond means decision. A yes or no question. Arrow shows flow direction and circle is a connector used when a flowchart continue on another page. The most commonly confused symbols are rectangle and parallelogram. Remember, if it is slanted, if it is data flowing, marks are deducted for wrong symbols in CBSE exams. Remember, if it is slanted, it is data flowing. Watch this flow chart built step by step. First, we start, then input number n. Then the decision diamond asks, is n mod 2 equal to 0? If yes, follow the green arrow, print even. If no, follow the red arrow, print odd. Both branches converge at stop. Let's trace it. N equal to 4, 4 mod 2 equal to 0. That's true. So we go S and print even. Correct. N equal to 7, 7 mod 2 equal to 1. That is false. So we can go no and print odd. Correct. Notice how the diamond always has exactly two exits. Yes and no. Now a more complex flowchart with a loop. We start read n, initialize fact equal to 1 and I equal to 1. The decision diamond asks is I less than or equal to n. If yes, multiply fact by I, increment I and loop back. If no, exit and print fact. The test table for n equal to 5 shows I going from 1 to 5 with fact building up 1, 2, 6, 24 and 120. When I reaches 6, the condition fails, we exit and print 120. This is 5 factorial. Flowchart plus trace table is a very common 5-mark question. Practice drawing this neatly. Pseudocode is an informal, English like representation of an algorithm that uses programming structure without strict syntax rules. The key pseudocode keywords are input or read for getting data, output or print for displaying results, if else and if for decisions, while or end while and for or end for loops, and set or compute for assignments. Six important rules. Keywords go in uppercase. One statement per line. Indent, inside loops, and if blocks. Use meaningful variable names, no strict syntax, and it's language independent. Pseudocode is a bridge between algorithm and a actual code. Let's write pseudocode for a grade calculator. Begin. Input marks. If marks greater than or equal to 90, then set grade equals A plus. Else if marks greater than or equal to 75, then set grade equals A. And so on down to else set grade equals fail and if. Output grade. Let's write pseudocode for a grade calculator. Begin input marks. If marks greater than or equal to 90, then set grade equals A plus. Else if marks greater than or equal to 75, then set grade equals A. And so on down to else set grade equals fail. End if output grade end. This is an if else if ladder checking thresholds top down. Test marks equal to 85. Is 85 greater than or equal to 90? No. Greater than or equal to 75? Yes. Grade equals A for marks equal to 35. It falls through everything to else giving fail. Notice how pseudocodes reads almost like English. Let's compare these two algorithm representations side by side. Flowcharts use diagrams and symbols. They are visual and easy to understand, but time consuming to create and or to modify. Pseudocode uses text and keywords. It is quick to write, easy to edit, and converts almost directly to code. Flowcharts work best for small problems where visual clarity helps. Pseudocode handles complex logic better. For CBSE, flowcharts tend to carry 3 to 5 marks, while pseudocode questions are typically 2 to 3 marks. You need to master both. Watch the tree built. Decomposition. Decomposition means breaking a complex problem into smaller, manageable subproblems that can be solved independently. Our examples show a school management system decomposed into student module, teacher module, and fee module. Each of this breaks down further. Student as admission and attendance, teacher as timetable and salary, fee as collection and reports. Benefits including simplifying complexity, enabling teamwork, allowing parallel development, easier testing, code reuse, and reduced overall complexity. Think of it like organizing a wedding. You split into venue, food, decor, invites. Here is a real world decomposition example, an ATM withdrawal system. The main problem ATM system breaks into three modules: authentication, transaction, and dispensing. Authentication further decomposed into card check and pin check. Transaction becomes balance check and debit amount. Dispensing means note counting and receipt printing. Each module can be developed by a different programmer, tested independently, and then integrated. This is exactly how professional software is built. For your exam, if it asked to explain decomposition, draw a T diagram like this. Let's put everything together. Problem: calculate the area of a circle. Step 1: analyze. Input is radius r, output is area. Formula is pi times r squared. Constant is r, must be positive. Step 2: algorithm. Start read r, calculate area equals 3.14 times r. Print area, stop. Step 3: code in Python. Import math, r equals float, input area equals math.py times r squared. Print area. Step 4: test. R equal to 5 gives 78.54. R equal to 0 gives 0. R equal to 1. R equal to 1 gives 3.14. All correct. Step 5: debug. What if R is negative? Add validation. This complete walkthrough is exactly what CBSE wants in a 5 mark question. Time for rapid fire revision. Point 1: the 5 steps are analyze, algorithm, code, test, debug. Point 2: an algorithm must be finite, step by step, and unambiguous. Point 3: a flowchart is a visual algorithm diagram. Point 4: pseudocode is English like structured planning. Point 5: decomposition breaks big problems into small modules. Point 6: there are three error types: syntax, logical, runtime. Point 7: the diamond shape means decision in a flowchart. Point 8: testing needs boundary and edge cases. If you remember these 8 points, you have nailed this chapter. Let's look at the exact question types you will face. Short answer for 2 marks. Define algorithm. List 2 properties. Diagram questions for 3 to 5 marks. Draw a flowchart with proper symbols plus a trace. Differentiate questions for 3 marks. Flowchart versus pseudocode. Syntax versus logical errors. Application questions for 5 marks. Write both algorithm and pseudocode for a given problem with test cases. Reasoning for 2 marks. Why is decomposition important? And MCQ pattern: which symbol represent decision? Answer is diamond. Practice all 6 types. Here are the exam tricks most students missed. Master this and you will score marks others miss. Here are the exam tricks most students miss. An algorithm is not the same as a program. Algorithms are language independent. The parallelogram symbol means input or output, most confused with rectangle. Pseudocode keywords must be in capitals in your answers. Testing should include edge cases. Examiners check for n equal to 0, n equal to 1, negative values. So SLR mnemonic, syntax, logical, runtime. Decomposition uses top-down approach. Grasshopper coined debugging in 1947. The connector symbol is a smaller circle used when a flowchart spans multiple pages. Master this and you will score marks others miss. And here is your quiz challenge. Question 1. Write the algorithm and pseudocode to check if a number is in a palindrome. For example, 1 to 1 is yes, 1 to 3 is no. Question 2. Draw the flowchart for the same problem using current correct symbols. Name the five problem solving steps and the three types of errors. Write your complete answer in the comments. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.